We're back. Football is back, and it's showtime.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world
on Mufc Realist TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
Good evening, people. We are so back. Football is back. You know, put your hands up if you think like me. The boring international break is just a party pooper. I hate international breaks. But guess what? Football is back. Premier League is back. And what we say on this channel, win, lose, draw, or is it win, lose, Shaw? Because it is Shawshank Redemption. We see in pictures Luke Shaw is training on the training ground. Oh, my God. Eric Ten Hag's finally injury spell is coming to an end. People are coming back fit and firing and willing to play. So tonight we're going to play the game. We are going to play the game. And guys, I have a starstruck panel coming here one by one. I'm going to introduce them. Adding to this stage, we have Double A. How you doing, mate? The
Good. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting me on. I'm looking forward to, like you say, the international break is done. Let's get back to real football. And we can have United break our hearts all over again. I can't wait for it, mate, honestly.
Yes, 100%, 100%. Good to see you. Good to see. I mean, actually, first time you appear on this channel, mate. So
Yeah,
absolutely pleasure to have you here. And guys, you've been asking for him. It's been a long time coming. In the red corner, we have Kojo 3 in the midfield. Where did he go? Where did Kojo go? I can't see him. He froze. Anyway, Kojo will come back. Okay, we have to bring in the second Kojo, his clone, which is Jarvis Cocker. Jarvis, good evening to you, sir.
Big up, everybody.
Big up to
Jarvis
you,
in the house.
Yes.
Hey, Double A, good to have you on the show, man.
It's good to see you face to face. Good to put a face to the tweets and stuff. It's good to.
Yeah. We have been friends on Twitter for a long time now, but finally we can do a show together.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. You know what, Jarvis? Some people call us Maverick and Goose, wingman and the co-pilot. Yeah. What would I do without your co-pilot? How's your day? But listen, coming back strong again. He froze, but I think he's alive. On a popular demand, we have 3 in the midfield. We're talking about Kojo.
You see
Big up,
movement? You
Kojo.
see movement? We good?
Now you see me, now you don't.
Fantastic.
You see me, now you don't. Like the illusion, like this bloody takeover saga. The illusion and the smoke screens, man. Seriously. I mean, how tired are you?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 12. I'm
Ah.
knackered, man.
You're
I'm
knackered.
knackered.
Like
But I'm
everyone
good.
else.
I'm good
You're
and I'm happy
good.
to be here. How's everybody doing?
Yes.
Bro,
Fine,
all the
fine.
better for seeing you. All the better for seeing you. Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, when stars align, and tonight we are aligning, basically. I didn't know you two knew each other, at all.
Yeah,
You
we
do?
did some podcasts in the past, and then I met him in person for the first time outside Old Trafford. I think after the game, right?
I think it was after. Yeah, it was after.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Short round table introduction. Kojo, I start with you though, because okay. Any random. Kojo, start with you. Round table, what you do, where can people find you? XYZ.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I run a football podcast. My main podcast is Free in Midfield. So Free in Midfield podcast on YouTube, Free in Midfield on Spotify and all the other audios and social channels. And you can also find me on DR Sports as well. And I don't know if I can count this, but I've got another one called Style of Play that I do with somebody called Theo, cool guy. And I don't know if I can count this, but I've been on there a couple of times. So maybe Talk Sport as well. Other than that, yeah, I'm here.
Hey, big up, Talk Sport. I remember I appeared once on your podcast, and I was actually 1 year ago. I was sitting in Thailand, and I had this bloody laggy stream, and you had Colleen, and you had who else? Art Roche as well. Also embarrassing. I had such.
No, you were good, man. You were good. Don't worry, you were good.
I was good.
Yeah.
I was informed. Oh, really? Are you sure?
Yeah, no, seriously. If you go back and watch the recording, you come smooth throughout. You might feel like it's lagging, but you won't actually play smoothly. So you're fine.
It's embarrassing. It's a disgrace. That's what it is. A disgrace.
It wasn't a disgrace.
I'll tell you what, even if it was lagging, I'd never be that angry. I promise you.
Big up to you, man. I'm just still waiting for the rematch, Kojo. I'm still waiting for your.
Yeah, I've been a bit inconsistent with my channel, but we'll be back, and I will be shouting you guys in particular as well. So yeah, man.
Kojo, I 3 in the Midfield podcast. A big shout out, go and follow, because it's a massive, good podcast. I really enjoy watching it whenever you are on. Anyway, I got to go to the debutante. Thank you for coming, Double A, and of course, on everyone's lips, what does Double A stands for?
See, everyone, I get this all the time. Basically, it's the way to spell my name. Obviously, I say double A. There you go. So double A. I say that more than my actual name. So I thought there's too many Aarons in this world. So just go by double A. And also it works because my mouth runs just as much as if you're a remote control with Duracell batteries in it. So that pretty much works.
You see how quick I was to crack it? Aaron, double A. Yes, okay, I got it.
Well, yeah, there's not many, unless my name was Advac, but I don't think, I don't think my parents are going to be calling me
Avram Glaze.
I'd rather not. My name, it would be changed if that was my name.
That was a punch below the billet. I do apologize. And of course, my trusted wingman, Don Quixote needs a Lancelot. Of course, we have Jarvis Cocker, but that is not your real name, Jarvis. I know your real name, but I keep it a secret. It's locked in a heart-shaped box. Shh. We still have to do the competition. Guess Jarvis's name. Real name.
Yeah, we can try.
But
so everybody, I just shared the link to the Twitter. So please, everybody, hit the link and go share the show, because we need some more people watching and some promo. So that would be fantastic. And start by hitting the like, everybody. That will really help out, because we do a lot of work. I read up on stuff, and I know Mick, he works hard doing the graphics and everybody, and we have bring on guests. So pay us back, give us a like.
Plus, it's 3 a.m. in the morning where I am. So, yeah, I'm personally sitting here for the community. But I love this community. I love everyone. I love talking football. I just love to come on. So, anyway, big up to all of you. Smash the like, please. And we have to give the shout out to the VR rooms, to the ones that actually made it. I don't know. United Stand is on. I can understand if you want to watch Goldbridge. That's fine. But here, we're going to talk football regarding other matters. But anything and stuff like that. So Lucky Singh is here. What are you saying, Lucky? One couple stakes sorted. Ratcliffe be in. Oh God. Okay, we're talking about Ratcliffe. Captain Caveman is here as well. I'm hoping Cliff Betty also leaves around the same time or before Murtaugh. Oh, weird one. This is preloaded one, and people are saying Ratcliffe, Tatita, ha ha, Ratatouille. Like we should just hire Gordon Ramsay and be the chef there at Carrington and cook a ratatouille.
I mean, he probably do a better job than certain Americans anyway. So there you go.
True. Maria R is in the housing. Hey all. Peter is here as well. Peter Day, evening peeps. Evening peep. How are you doing? Guys, let us know where you're from as well, where you're tuning in from. And Lilis United, I know you're from Macedonia. Hi to you, Lilis, as well.
Hey, Lilis.
Hey, good evening also from Ashish Mia. Good evening to you, mate. And Mark Davis, one of our regulars, is also coming in saying, coming out raw with an uppercut saying, good evening, Mick. But what about the rest? Mark, what about Double A? Good evening, Double A. Good evening, Kojo. Good evening, Jarvis. But maybe you like me more. Who knows? I don't know. Madhouse, what are you saying here? Evening, Mick, and all. Finally, we got an all at the end of the day. Thomas coming all the way from Gothenburg, Sweden. We need original back four together again, ASAP. 100%. But Thomas, there's been some challenges since I moved to Thailand and the time difference. So, it's very rare that I can get on 3 a.m. in the morning. But guess what? It's going to be raw. It's going to be brutal because now there's no international breaks and it's going to be a lot of football. So you will see me. Yeah, I promise. Finally. What do you say? Finally.
Yeah. Finally, some football. I hate this international break. It's a pain watching Macedonia against Switzerland, and it's not the same. It's not the same.
Didn't you enjoy that? Like a 14-0 victory. Like clean sheet. Talk about clean sheet.
Gibraltar.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, no offense against Gibraltar, but it's not the same as Premier League.
Double A. You can imagine what the goalkeeper's like. What a clean sheet. It's like, what 14?
Almost like there was no goalkeeper in the goal.
That's true. Anyway, guys, big up. Gary's also here to say, evening all. Gary Carl, good evening to you. And what will we do without Peter, Ellie, and Tenno? Big Mick, Ooh. Jarvis, Double A, Kojo, and chat. Big up to you, Ellie and Tenno. Looking forward to see your cracking comments today as well. Listen, guys, Stephanie Griffith, what would it be without shouting out Stephanie Griffith? Every chat I go to, every stream I see, Stephanie Griffith is always there moderating. So big up to you, Stephanie. You must. Stephanie, thank you so much. And guys, let's kick on the show because I think Fatty's here as well. Hey, yeah. So sometimes it's difficult to shout out everyone out, but leave your comments as well and let us know where you're coming from, how you're feeling, and we're going to talk football, guys. So today I done something very, very special for us, guys. Instead of us choosing the topic, I've actually done randomly. Like we're going to spin the wheel, right? So we have topics today. I hate to do it. The Ratcliffe saga 25% delay. We have the team news, and we have tactical lineup. Basically, what do we expect United to, do after this international break and running up to the New Year's, Christmas, the Boxing Day game. We also have the FFP crackdown and Shawshank Redemption. Guys, are you ready to spin the wheel? Because usually we ask the VR room which questions, but today we're gonna do faith. All right, should we spin it? Let's go. Come on. Spin that. Please don't. No. What do we have? Beautiful. Listen, guys. Luke Shaw is back. Shawshank Redemption is back on training, guys. I want to hear your thoughts and feelings, guys. This is the one we've been waiting for. This is the one that Marcus Rashford has been missing, to be honest. How important has Luke Shaw been? And I mean, he's away for the whole team. Let's start with you. Double A, by the way, since you're the debutant.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to put too much pressure. I feel like a lot of fans are putting a lot of pressure on Luke Shaw's return. And yes, last season, fantastic for us. Even when he was filling in at at left centre back did a really fantastic job. You think of that game at the new camp. He's obviously a very important player for this team. It's quite an indictment of this squad that one left back can be out, and then people are rejoicing so hard to have him back. And I agree. I said it yesterday. I agree with you what you're saying in regards to Rashford. I think he's massively missed that partnership that he has alongside Luke Shaw. I think they do work really well together. Once he's back, and I hate that phrase of it's going to unlock a player. Will this unlock Rashford and stuff? I hate that. But it's almost to the point you think something has to, because at the moment his output is horrendous, and we need Marcus Rashford back from last season. And you can talk about it being purple patch, you can talk about it being he's just that type of player, but he clearly has it in him. So him having that is massively important for this team. And then I think Luke Shaw coming back a proper left back. I'm not a fan of Reguilon. Don't like Delo at left back, although I feel like he's better there than he is right back, but that's a whole other issue where I'm concerned. I just think having a proper left back there, and I think he also will help the centre backs as well. And that's, it's multifaceted what he adds to this team. And I think he's vitally important to get back as soon as possible. Obviously cautious because he's been out for so long. Does he come on at some point on Sunday rather than starting him, and then maybe starting the big game in the Champions League? But no, for sure, it's great that we're getting all these players back now. And the injuries have clearly hindered us the start of this season, and people really are going off a cliff with how the form has been. But once we get everyone back, if we can get everyone back at the same time, I think we'll see a much better Manchester United. I believe in the manager, and
100%.
Having these experienced players back is absolutely vital for us.
Kojo as well, I want to hear from you as well, because at the end of the day, that back four partnership is the rock for Onana as well. He had 7 different personnels playing in front of him, but still managed to keep a clean sheet as well. But how vital is Luke Shaw's return to the overall squad in how we're going to play up from the back and XYZ?
I'd say regardless of how we play, he's our number one left back. So you're gonna not be able to be having more of a consistent 11 or a stable 11 if you don't have your number one guy in his position. I think AA knows as well. I've been a bit critical of Shaw over the years, but that's only because sometimes I look at the player and I think there was a lot more for you to sort of unravel in your career in terms of a higher potential, and injury could have played a part because he did suffer a massive injury very early in his United career, and players develop differently after that. But overall, he has been good for United, and he is a big miss. We've signed Reguilon to be to be like a backup, and he got injured at some point as well, so that's why Dallo was there. It's not going to help anyone if you don't have your guy at the back. If I can relate it to also like Chelsea, as soon as Chilwell's gone, it's either been Colwell or Cucurella, so there's no continuity there either. So you can't catch form, and it's funny because the two sides that have not been in form are the two sides that you expect to have a decent amount of points by the time of the season. So hopefully Luke Shaw comes in. I'm very, very cautious about rushing him back because he's not been away for 2 weeks. He's been away for a long time. So as much as we miss him, I think we just need to maybe just ease him in, because if we bring him in quickly and he goes bad again, we're in trouble. So but it's good to have him back regardless, and I'm happy to be seeing him in training again.
Yeah, Wingman, I want to talk to you as well there up in the right corner, because you and me have been talking a lot as well, because I said it, I called it out to say, look, United had half a squad injured, and now we are getting all these players back. And look at Spurs, look at what everyone, the injuries are creeping back on them while we are getting fit. So what do you expect? I mean, I expect us to go on a, run of form, right? Winning, like get on the bike. But how important is Luke Shaw for you coming back as well?
Yeah, I would say Luke Shaw, when we have Martinez out injured, Luke Shaw is very important, because we have a left foot at the left center back. That's very important for Ten Hag, and we know Luke Shaw's passing abilities when it comes from passing out from the back, because Ten Hag wants to play out from the back. He wants to play the 3-1-6 or 3-1-3-3 formation, as some people call it. Even though he has moderated it a little bit the last 3 to 4 games, he has played more like a 3-2-4-1 formation when we are building up. And he has utilized Ericsson because he has dropped Ericsson down with Maguire and Evans to play up into the inverted fullbacks or Bruno in the middle. So for me, if we can get Shaw back, I think that will be one of the key openers for us to start playing the way we want to play.
100%.
He's also reliable because he has pace. So I think he will work even with Maguire, Evans, and Varane. The only thing that worries me a little bit is his partnership with Maguire. Traditionally, they have been a little bit off when it comes to communication. We often see mistakes from those two guys when they play together. So, but we haven't seen them play together as centre backs much. And Luke Shaw seems to understand his roles when they play centre back, left centre back. Another option is if he comes back to play as a left back. Maybe he will utilize Rashford again because we know that Luke Shaw overlaps and he carries the ball up until Rashford's area and then provides Rashford with some backup and usually drags one of the defenders off. So,
left back,
so
or you
Rashford
mean
is up again.
left centre back?
Well, now
Or
I
left-
talk about left back, fullback.
Okay,
Yeah,
fullback.
so when he plays fullback, he provides a little bit more support to
100%.
Rashford. So maybe that will be the key to utilize Rashford better. So let's hope that he can find his form. We know that Luke Shaw always struggles when he comes back from a long injury or a holiday. He has a couple of extra pounds, so he needs to get back into match weight. He needs a couple of weeks with basic
Him and
training.
Casemiro, right?
Yeah, but it's just his body type. I think he stays in shape, but it's something different when you play a 90 minutes game. It's completely different. So he needs.
I just go like Cartman in South Park. Hey, I'm not fat. I'm big boned.
Yeah.
Big up for you, man.
Rudy was the same though. His body shape was the same. He wasn't your typical footballer body shape, but obviously a world class footballer. And
100%.
one thing I want to say about Shaw, Peter Day raised it in the chat, and the crosses. Hoyland is crying out for crosses.
The overlapping, the crosses.
That's going to be so important for him. Finally a fullback who can put the ball into the box. But I think the major thing is we know last season Ten Hag built the success of last season on that back five. The unity and cohesion of that back five really is what propelled us to be tough to beat, and finally getting one of them cogs back into that back five is hopefully going to start that again for us, where we can, fingers crossed, start to put some balls in the opponent's box, because that would be really nice at the minute.
Wicked. Listen, guys, we have a super chat. Super chat. Flying in raw from Peter, Ellie, and Tenno. Talk about Jarvis in blue again. I don't know what this internal is, Jarvis. What is this? Pretty in pink. Oh, okay. Oh, that one.
Oh, he talks about the blue shirt. I always wear blue. I don't know why, but my closet is full of blue shirts. But I support the Reds.
I mean, to be fair, at least it's not the shade of blue that we don't like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean, Maynard has more awakening with that blue.
So. All blue in 1968. Tenno, come on.
Yeah.
United wear blue.
As well.
There you go.
And guys, I want to bring something to the attention, a little bit of a bonus and what we talked about. And say hello to my little friend. Say hello to my little friend. That means that is a welcoming sight for Manchester United's fans, as Licha has been spotted. He's back. He's training. He's put his feet on the ground. No.
No. False rumors. He didn't train. He was just watching from the sidelines, and some journalists.
No, he was ball watching.
He got debunked.
I got excited. I got giddy there.
So he's not actually back, but he's back on the training field, and he's part of the group again. So I wouldn't.
Okay. It's like he's coming to the pool and he's dipping his toes in the water a little bit. Yeah. Damn, I got sucked in there. Sorry, Double A.
No, it's still a positive sign. At least he's got the boot off now, because he was wearing that lot too long ago anyway. And I think on a night out he had the boot on still. So it's a step in the right direction. Finally, them players are coming back into the fold. Again, another important cog of that back five. So it's still to be excited about. Probably not as excited as you got, Mick, unfortunately.
Jarvis, what do we have in the VR room? Do we have any questions from the panel, from the VRsters? Do we see anything interesting there?
Yeah, I see Matty R. He says my lights are orange, but they are actually red now. But I don't know what's going on with the lights. It lives its own
Maybe I should
life.
sing. Ooh, I'm blinded by the lights.
I
Oh
see
my
Peter
God.
Day comes in with a good comment about Luke Shaw. We miss Shaw's crosses. Hoyland will enjoy more deliveries into the box, and that's actually a really good point, Peter Day, because he has actually a good, accurate cross, Luke Shaw, and he can pass on the first touch, and that's what we're missing when we, for example, play the law on the left back, because you always need to use 2 touches and cross it in. So and we know Hoyland's pace; he will be in the middle, just deliver the ball, and he will be there. So that's a good point. Good comment, Peter Day.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Guys, shall we just continue on as we are plowing through, because we have a few things to unpack today as well. And let's Lady Fortuna had a lux, and let's us spin the wheel. And what's going to be the next topic? Please don't let there be the takeover. Let's go. Roof. Oh. Team news. Team news, guys. Well, let's talk about the team news. And that's including what? Team news is the injury updates, 100%. Team news is including how the play's been doing on the internationals, and what are we looking forward to? Like, how are we going to play right now? Like, from here, because it was a little bit, we saw that form was picking up. Like, people started to understand what Ten Hag wanted to do. And the 2 weeks break, I think it's done a little bit great. It's kind of a little bit of the reset, right? Kojo, what do you reckon, in terms of how we are going to play from now, in terms of the best starting 11?
Well, I mean, rest is always good for the squad in general. I mean, you're talking about trying to get players back to a good standard of fitness and level, because the biggest thing for Man United this year has just been unavailability. If I'm being honest, I think we've started poorly because we've just not had the players that we need available and not been able to play the brand of football that the manager wants to play. I do or will find it hard to believe that the manager, with the pretty much same amount of players that he had, is not able to get the same level of performance unless there's obviously some factors, and it's quite clear to see what the factors are. But I think you're looking at people like Shaw coming back soon, galvanizes the team a little bit. I'm not a fan of Regulon, but he's going to be available, so that's good. We've got an actual left back there. That's important. The comeback of Wan-Bissaka was big. I know he came up before the international break, but I think we missed a right back that was just very, very good in the defensive aspect of it, because, and actually, going forward as well, because in recent months, in my opinion, he's been a bit more effective than Dalot going forward, which is quite worrying for Dalot, because that used to be Dalot's selling point. We missed a right back after Valencia that would take us forward, and he came in and showed us a different side to it. So, it's a big thing for him. But we got players that have gone away international duty. They've done all right. Maguire's looked okay, minus the recent England game. Looked a bit shaky there. But no, players are finding their form. And to be honest, I think we shouldn't ignore the fact that despite these injuries, I think in the last 5 games we've had the best form. 4 wins, 1 loss. So it's not bad, a lot to work on. But all positives I see from here. The one person I apologize, not because I think we completely miss him, but because I just want a squad, is a certain Sancho.
Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing how the ones that we wanted out in the summer, like McTominay and Maguire, has been the one that saved us, right? And I just want to sort of bring this to the stage as well, because funny, a little bit of humor. Harry Maguire receives apology from the Ghanaian MP. If you remember this one.
Damn it,
Maguire, I do all your apology. Did you see that clip?
Yeah, I've received about 15 WhatsApps today with the same link saying, "My guy, what's going on?" Some happy, some not happy with him. No, look, he obviously, the reason why he used Maguire as an example was because at the time, I think a lot of United fans will agree, he just wasn't doing well for us, and that's the truth. But he's saying, look, I came out here, I criticized him just like everybody else. But look, he's put his socks on, he's worked hard, and he's back. So well done to him. It proves that also. I don't believe this to be true, but also in politics, some people can be better. I don't believe that, but hey,
yeah,
it was his selling point. He's doing his thing. He's my countryman, so hey, thumbs up.
Big up, big up. In terms of injury updates, of course, there's going to be the presser on Friday. Of course, we're playing Everton, but I've been a little bit off the Rockets right now with the time zone difference. But anything updates regarding the injury list? Like, Onana was a little bit of injury scare, but he's okay. He's fine. Wan-Bissaka. Højlund, yeah.
Yeah, I think the two players that are a little bit uncertain is Højlund and Onana. I read today that Onana is ready, but I haven't got it confirmed anywhere other than Twitter. So how reliable it is, I can't say. But I think Højlund is maybe 50-50 for him to start. But we have Martial. We know Martial can come in and do a job, or can he?
Can he? How about double A? Aaron, come on.
I worry about. I worry about double A. I don't worry about double A. Double A is fine. Martial, I do worry about him though. Having watched him sort of since he come back from his last obviously injury, and watching him at Old Trafford, I just don't think he trusts his body anymore, and that's really worrying to see. You don't see him fully sprint, not that he used to anyway, but not as much as he used to. And if a ball's knocked for him to go and chase, he doesn't put his all in, and I worry that that next injury is just around the corner with Martial. And it's, for me, I think it's absolutely wild that we're still talking about Anthony Martial in nearly 2024 as a Manchester United player. It is ridiculous that we're having to rely on someone who we all think shouldn't be at the club. But that's just where we are. Whether Ten Hag trusts him to start a tough game at Everton, I don't know. I think we could be made to suffer with Rashford up top. With two wide players, Anthony and Garnacho, I assume. But
in terms of team, I don't know. In terms of, we definitely need a striker. We cannot. I mean, we were sitting here in the transfer window, when we did the transfer corner, Jarvis, and we said, Højlund, in all honor, but he's not a guy that will score you 20 goals the first season. And we've been, if you look at the team news, there's a lot of speculations regarding, will Casemiro go to Saudi? Will Rafael Varane go to Germany? Serie A? There's a lot of rumor speculations. But another thing, Jarvis, that came out that is hot on the press again. Guess who?
No. Who?
Marcus Leonardo.
Yeah.
That's good news. That is good. That is good news, because at the moment it is a little bit dry on the firing squad up front. I mean, Marcus Rashford in all glory, he hasn't really been firing. Hasn't really had his shooting boots on. Perhaps with Luke Shaw coming back in, but you can't really rely on Højlund like a 20-year-old, Otherwise, we're just going to burn him to the ground. So we need reinforcements in January. And apparently, we're sitting here doing the transfer corner, me and Jarvis, and we're talking about this. We did a scouting report, early transfer window. I think he had about 20,000 views in that one. Big up, go check it out. But he was linked to AC Roma with Jose Mourinho. For some reason, that deal didn't happen. And I think Santos told him, we don't. I mean, they needed to sell him, but at the same time, they kept him. But they told him, in January, you can go. So he's available on 15 million euros. And this is a striker that, I kid you not, he's been playing there in the first team since he was 16. Yeah. And if you look at his outputs and the number of appearances in senior level, it's comparable to Scott McTominay, who's 27, 28.
Yeah, the good thing with Marcus Leonardo is he's young, he's 20 years old, but he has a lot of experience, so he can come in directly and play a good role. This season, he has played, I believe it's 45 games in 2023 and scored 21 goals, 4 assists, and that's actually really good for such a young striker. If you compare him with other strikers at that age, like Harry Kane or other players, they don't have those same kind of numbers. So if we can get Marcus Leonardo in and we have Højlund there, we will have a fantastic striker couple for the next, I would say, 10 years, if we can get them going and keep them injury free. So I believe we should try to go for him. And I like the type of player. He's very technical. He has the Brazilian flair. He's strong, but he's not that tall, but he's very strong. He's
No,
like
no,
a
no.
bull, and it's good.
The thing is, the thing is that because again, Benjamin Sesko is on the radar again because RB Leipzig is looking to offload him, but we already have that tall stature. Like he's a carbon copy almost of Rasmus Højlund. So it's good to have a little bit of diversity, a smaller striker, more technical. That reminds a little bit of a hybrid between Martial and I would like it to say who can you compare him to?
I have always said Aguero. He reminds me of
Aguero.
Aguero because he's very small, but he's strong, you know, and it's very hard to he can shield the ball and he can dribble. He got pace. He knows how to head the ball.
Ronaldinho, right?
Yeah.
Or the Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo, stocky, small. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know.
really good.
What do you guys think? Have you seen Marcus Leonardo, AA?
Yeah, well, Brazil are my national team that I support, so obviously I've got a big interest in Brazilian players. Again, the Brazilian league at the minute is just full of so much talent, and you know there is room. You know, Ten Hag does like South American players, and there is rumors that he is focusing on United potentially, you know, dipping into the Brazilian market more, which we need to do. There's a lot of players out there that we should be looking at, and for me, you know, Marcos Alonso is a great option, and again, the age does concern me just in that I think it's another young player. If he comes and then has a similar start to United life that Højlund does, that's two young players that are potentially going to be beaten with the same stick. Although Højlund is showing his class in the Champions League, I do think we need that older profile, that 25, 26, maybe a little bit more experience. But with that comes you need to pay a lot more money for those. And then you know, if you can go and get a striker for 15 million euros, a young talent like that, it's a no-brainer for me, really. And it makes sense but it makes too much sense for Manchester United to do. But like I thought the Højlund one was the same, even though we overpaid for him. You could say a little bit. Going and getting Marcus, I think that's just too much of a good deal for United, and I don't know if we'd do it. And I know Arsenal are sniffing around as well, which worries me.
Oh, let's go get him, guys. Let's go get him. 50 million is a steal. Kojo, what do you reckon?
Yeah, man. I think I did a show with you in the summer, and I said, if you get me either Harry Kane, Sesko, or Leonardo, I'm going to be very happy. Or if you get me 2 out of 3, I'll be very happy. So, you know, Kane is definitely not available anymore. That's fine and gone. Sesko I wouldn't mind, but Leonardo, I've been banging that drum for about 2 years now. I'm probably going to have to leak group chat information, but they've been in one of my group chats. We talk about just transfers a lot more than anything.
I think we've been banging on the same drumstick.
So good, man. So good. And also I don't want to bang the versatility drum because I know he can play on the left as well. Because I don't want anyone to come and think that we just signed almost how we've done in the past, where we signed a player like a Juan Mata who's a central player and put him on the right. I don't want to see all of that. Put him where he needs to be, where he should be. But he is just in case if you do need a backup winger for a game or two, that is a backup person, but he's also productive from that side also. So it's very good option. And for 15 million, whether that's euros, pounds, Ghanaian cities, pay the money, man. Let's get him in.
No, good. Marcus Leonardo for me is a no-brainer. I mean, this is something that I want us to do. Like, you know, I always said, like, you know, there's so much potential talent in the grassroots leagues from South America. There's something that Brighton do. There's something that Erik ten Hag used to do at Ajax as well, because before Ten Hag managed, he was actually a scout. So all the players that he brought in for cheap at Ajax as well, and they go on and sell them for. We've seen Casado, like they bought him in for 7 million euros, sold them for over 100 million. You know what I mean? And this is something that United needs to do in terms of moving forward and restructuring, like in terms of the footballing operation side of it. So 100%. What is the VR room saying as well? Whoa. Sorry, guys, if we did
I see Stephanie Griffin's come in here. She said, I don't think Martial could last 90 minutes, even if he had had no choice to play him, and I think that's a good point. So we need a second striker in our squad because Martial, he's on crutches all the time and he's made of glass, so we can't trust him. That's the biggest problem with Martial.
But he's out of contract
he's a
in
good
summer,
player,
right?
I like him when he's in form. He's very talented. He's good on the ball. He can dribble, but his problem is his fitness and keeping himself injury free. And as long as we can't trust him, that's the biggest issue.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? I think his contract is running out of this summer, right? So looks like we're just either gonna, fizz him out, or I don't know.
But I see Madhouse come in there with a good comment. Where's the money if you need a second striker? Because at the moment we don't have any money. We are skint.
That's what this 25% investment is supposed to be for. Well, not for only it's for a lot of things, but hopefully. Anyway, I'm sure we'll get into that at some point. Anyway,
we got to spin the wheel, eh? We got to spin the wheel to come to that point, guys. So hold your horses, keep your powder dry there. Cool. I mean, I don't know. Martial for me has always been, moments of magic. I love Martial. I will never forget when Bruno Fernandes came in that January and that brilliant, I think it was his first game, that free kick, when he chipped it and found Martial. Martial just
against Man City.
Oh yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
It's like wow, there was a Bruno magic and Martial magic. Yeah, but I think he's lost a yard of pace. I don't know his motivation, if he's willing. I don't know, but I hope Martial will become good for us, step up the plate, and because we do have Champions League next week as well. Don't be worried about that one. Galatasaray, guys. It's gonna be a tough one. Welcome to hell.
Welcome to hell.
Welcome to hell, guys. Anyway, please, if you're tuning in late now, welcome to Mufc Realist TV. Get those likes up. You know the drill. There's a lot of bell buttons. All the buttons down there below. We are slaving here in the kitchen, making a 5-course meal for you. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and also the notification that looks like a bell, like ding, 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 because that means that you will never miss a video or live show that we do and upload. If you missed this morning's show, 11 o'clock, we did me with Swedish Rumble and Paul White. We call it Make It Sense. And make it make sense, because we talked about the FFP, we talked about the City cheating, we talked about the Ratcliffe 25% breakdown, and for me it all smells. I don't really add it up. I'm quite smart man anyway, so I don't get it. So we're going to talk about when we come to the wheel, guys. So big up to all of you. Let's continue the show and let's spin to the next plate, shall we? Let's do this. A little bit unusual topic. Oh, you're doing a Neil Ashton there.
Yeah,
did you? How dare you? How dare you, like Greta Thunberg, right? All right.
When you say
this,
spin,
guys.
I do the spin.
Really? Okay, guys, and I am going to hit this wheel now. Let's go. Oh, where's my mouse? Damn it! Bluetooth mouse. Here we go. Jarvis, this is your cue. Tactics and lineups.
Yeah.
What do you have in store for us?
Well, I'm as prepared as always. I haven't prepared so much, but we can talk about the tactics now. Guys, what do you reckon? Who would we start from in the back line? Let's start first against Everton, because we know now that the Aram Wan-Bissaka is a little bit injured. He's been ill, but he's back. He's training. Same with Luke Shaw. He's training. We have Evans. He's apparently back, but he's been out injured. Maguire, he played a bad game against who was it? I don't know, Malta. Yeah.
Macedonia, was it?
Macedonia. Yeah. So our defense doesn't look that great at the moment. So how would you guys line up defense against Everton?
I think you got, if Wan-Bissaka is fit, you got to play him at right back. You have to.
Yeah, you have to.
I am very unsure about Dallow's form overall, whether that's right back or left back. So I think I'm gonna have to just put Reguilon at left back, to be honest. Maguire probably still will start, and Lindelof. Thing is, I want to say Varane, but I still have a sneaky feeling he's not going to play Varane. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't want to speculate. I feel like something's off there between the two of them, but we'll find out later on. So I am going to go. If Lindelof is fit, I'll go Lindelof.
Oh yeah. How about you, Double A?
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I think, the centre back, I'd love Varane to get back in this team. He still is our best centre back for me. It's just a shame whatever's going on in the background. You come on against Copenhagen, didn't look happy at all. So something's not right for him. Whether that's to do with a manager, obviously that's just speculation. But
maybe he's not happy because he got not picked because he's Champions League run and got benched for Johnny Zared and Maguire.
And I'd feel the same way if Maguire was Jimmy, to be honest with you. I'd be fuming as well. But yeah, I think I agree with Kojo. Like, for me, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is our best right back. I do not rate Delo. I don't understand why United fans like him so much. I don't think he's got a very high footballing IQ. I don't think he's great going forward. That's meant to be his main strength, but 1 out of 6 crosses is good. Yes, he might score the occasional banger or goal. That's not enough as a right back. I think defensively, he lacks a lot. You saw those 2 goals against Copenhagen. And to be fair to him, in that game, he was shattered. You could see, and I think that's on the manager then. You need to get Reguilon on. You need to take him off because he was running on empty pretty much. And that's on the manager to see that and stop that. But I don't think he's great defensively. So if I had to pick what I would want to go for would be Wan-Bissaka, Varane, possibly Maguire still because he's playing okay. Again, I think people are over-egging the pudding that he's great. He's back in form. He's doing what he needs to do. I don't think he's ever going to become what people want him to become or certain fans want him to become. He's doing all right. And then if Reguilon is fit, I'd go Reguilon. Have a proper left back in that back line. I think that's the 4 I'd probably go for.
I think we got Reggie till Christmas or January or something, right? He's
not fit till Christmas.
No, we have him on loan to.
Oh yeah. I think it's the full season, but we can halt it in January if you want.
Oh, okay.
I think he'll stay the full season. To be fair,
you reckon, Jarvis? You reckon he will stay for the full season?
Maybe it depends a little bit on Malacia. His injury is a little bit woolly. We can't really get the grip over what's the matter with him. He's not training. They say he should be back now, but he's not reported back on the training field. So I don't know if people know the impact of his injury. But I think if he's still injured in January, we will keep the loan. But I would like to recall. Alvaro Fernandez, because I think he's a much better. He's our best left back at the moment, I believe. If
I was just surprised that we loaned him out, knowing that we had that injury crisis on the left back situation. I was surprised, and instead of retaining him, they sent him on a loan and went for Reguilon. Maybe it was because of seniority. I'm not sure, but still. Anyway, I just want to bring this to the Jumbotron because this definitely needs to be brought up because it's coming down to how we play and basically play for the manager, play for the bag, because this came out today as well that, again, some gash coming out. There's some leaks. The Manchester United stars are discontented and blame Ten Hag for poor start of the season after, laziness. They don't want to work hard. X, Y, Z. You know what it is, guys? You know what it is.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Exactly, Gattuso. You speak my language, Gattuso.
The legend. Absolutely.
The legend, 100%. Okay, so I agree with what you guys are saying. I think we need a solid back line. We miss Lisandro Martinez so much. I mean, that is the spine, there's foundation. And, as I alluded earlier before, Onana had a shocker in the beginning because, he had different defenders around him. He had, chopping and change, in order to sort of form a partnership for goalkeeper to keep a clean sheet. And by the way, he's now number 2 to win the Golden Glove, right?
Yep.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes, he's. Yes.
I think we start having discussions about the Premier League, guys.
Dude, he's been holding clean sheets for the.
That's mental.
It's mental. We've been playing shit, though. We've been
that.
playing crap.
Wow.
No, we have. Look it up.
Wow.
Listen, we've been playing crap, but if you look at the 5 fixtures that we had 5 wins, 1 loss, so it's not bad. But people just tend to think about the performance, and I keep saying I'm a realist. Okay, I love to see a good performance, but at the end of the day, football is all about the table, isn't it? 3 points.
Yeah,
It is.
true.
It is.
It's about winning games, isn't it? Right.
So Mick, what defense would you start against Everton?
Everton.
Yeah.
Everton. I mean, Jesus, they got done by that 10 points deduction, so they'll be hungry to prove themselves, I reckon. Van Bissaka, 100% if he's fit as a right back. I don't know if he's by far the most improved player under Ten Hag. The best 1v1 defender in the league, potentially
in the world.
In the world as well. And he's been improving going forward. I mean, yeah, I love him at the moment. I would probably play Reguilon, a proper left back. Definitely play players in the position. If Varane is available, play Varane. Play Lindelof, I think, or maybe Maguire. I'm not sure. You're probably going to play Maguire.
Yeah,
I think
you always
Lindelof
want to play Lindelof
together. Lindelof and Varane are better together. I think
They are.
Varane and Maguire always seem to have an issue, whereas Lindelof. There was a period. I don't think it was last season or season before, when Lindelof and Varane had a couple of games together, and he looked decent, and then Maguire gets fit and he's straight back in and ruins everything. But
the reason why I'm saying Lindelof, because he's a little bit of a supplement to Licha. He's a ball carrier, centre back, and he's doing all right. He's a left footer, isn't it? So I would play him there, and I play Varane 100%. And but you know what, Scotty Mack in the midfield, he's doing right for Scotland again. So who diluted back to what we said? These players, French players, were the ones that we want to get rid of, and they've been the one that've been saving our asses. You know what I mean? So Mighty R is saying Onana, Aaron Van Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, Reguilon. Yeah, pretty much what I believe too.
Good back 5. I see people are still skeptical against Maguire. No, Maguire, most consistent player of the year, says Box. He wants him in. When Lillis United says Slabhead Maguire out, and Box comes in again and says Lindelof is too weak. So there's always a compromise for Ten Hag. But the compromise I think Ten Hag is doing at the moment is he won't play Varane and Maguire together, because he sees them both as right centre back. And he understands he can't play them on left centre back, because then we lose all ability to play out from the back from the left side centrally. So at this season, Maguire has been better at right centre back. So Varane will stay on the bench. Maguire will start, in my opinion. Aaron Van Bissaka will start on the left. That's where we have some competition. We have Lindelof. We have Evans. I think he will play Evans as long as he's injury free and ready. And left back, are we playing away or at home against
away?
Yeah.
Away.
Then I'm a little bit skeptical to Reguilon, because he's weak defensively. So I would probably go for Dalot at left back if it was up to me.
I love Dalot, but as long as Dalot can stay awake for the full 90 minutes, I'm happy. He has a tendency to fall asleep. He can do 1.5, period, or what is it, 1.5 halves, but he tends to fall asleep. We've seen that. So I'm sorry to say I love him, but just stay focused. Give him some caffeine.
Can I ask the question? Because
sure,
Jarvis made the point about maybe him not trusting Varane on the left side, but is that saying that he believes that there's a decline? Because I guess Varane, I know Varane is not the same Varane that they had at Real Madrid, but in the back 4, Ramos played on the right side, he played on the left. They weren't playing the same brand of football that Ten Hag wants to play, or akin to like a De Zerbi type, Pep type football of possession from the back. But does it mean that he thinks that rather than now just not being able to be on the left, he's looking at Varane as a liability? Because if Martinez is not there, he's saying that he doesn't trust Varane to play on the left side. That to me sounds very worrying, because I'm looking at 2 aspects. I'm saying I'm a big fan of Varane. We've seen what he can do, so we're saying they don't trust our best centre back, Or are you saying he is that much of a problem on that side tactically that you don't trust him and you're playing Evans instead, which I keep getting screams in my head of when we played City and he said he played Evans there for tactical reasons. And in my head I was like, there can't be any tactical reason that allows you to bench Varane for Evans. No disrespect to Evans, but I think you will know what I'm talking about here. So I'm just asking the question, do you think he just doesn't trust him anymore? Because to me, that sounds crazy. I don't know why you wouldn't play him there.
Yeah. It's a good question. I believe that Varane has declined. He's not the same. He's not the Rolls-Royce Champions League Varane anymore. I think it's not his age, but I think it's all his injuries that has taken a toll. He's been out for so long, and he has lost so much football the last 3 to 4 seasons. So I think I think he can play at the right because it's much easier for him. Playing on the left, it demands more, and the way Ten Hag want to play, we all know that Ten Hag is very stubborn. He has a way of a style or a tactic he wants to implement. I can just show you here a little bit. I have my tactic board. Sometimes I use it, and it's better.
I was waiting for that one.
Yeah. So this is United in red. We see here Onana with the ball. What we usually does when we play up, we invert the fullbacks, and one of the central midfielders, usually Eriksen, drops down, and we play out from the left because Eriksen is very good at playing out from the left. So what we have been doing the last 3 to 4 games is the inverted fullback doubles up on the number 8 and opens up for Bruno. So the ball goes from Eriksen to Bruno. So the number 8 has a big problem. We did it against Everton. We did it against Fulham. So no, not Everton. We did it against Fulham and was it Sheffield United? I'm not sure, but this is how we have been playing. So Ten Hag relies on playing out from the back, and from the other side we have Maguire on the right, and he's been very good in crossing to Garnacho on the left, and usually Garnacho or Bruno, because sometimes they interchange. And Bruno goes out to the left and receive the ball, and Garnacho drops in. So they have a good play with Maguire. So it gives us some sting in attack. And Maguire can actually play the ball into the middle. The only problem is when he plays into the middle, we have McTominay here, and the ball usually just go back to Maguire before he plays long. So that's been a little bit of the problems we have facing this season. I don't know. Do you guys agree, or do I see football the right way?
Honestly, I'm just the one thing that's just in my head is because I actually agree with what you're saying. I'm at a sad time with football where I miss the times where you could just play centre backs at centre back and there'll be no problem whether they were this side or that side because they were that good. Yeah. I just miss it. I miss not having to worry about Vidic coming in and being like, oh my god, he's not left footed, so you got I just miss that time. It's a different time of football, so I know it's been a long time since it's happened. I still need to get used to it, but I just miss it because I find it crazy that Varane is that much of a risk on that side. You know what I mean? For how he wants to play, it's really bad. It's really bad. And you're talking about decline, and it's true. But the one thing that
it's sad
about players was experience, wasn't it?
Yeah, but there was also the strong rumors that in January we're going to get Todibo. This Jean-Claude, what's his name? Jean-Pierre Todibo.
Jean-Claire.
Not Claire.
Blanc. Jean-Claude Blanc.
No? Okay.
Jean-Claire Todibo, I think.
Todibo, yes.
Yeah.
He was such an important signing. Our centre-backs are all quite, not old, but obviously approaching 30 or half 30. And that younger centre-back, if Maguire had gone and we'd gone and got Todibo, I think we don't have these issues. I think we'd be quite secure.
Right. For years to come, yeah.
Yeah. And then hopefully that's a January signing that's going to happen. But what worries me is that Maguire seems to have played his way back into staying at the club.
Yeah, no, he did a Rocky Balboa. He was training. But
that's the problem when you got a player on a massive contract with massive wages and you don't have to leave. And that's what he did.
Yeah.
I don't have to go. I'm going to stay. And unfortunately, Ten Hag's hands were tied and he had no choice but to keep him. And then obviously with the injuries, had to play him. It's
everyone that's watching, if you're on Twitter, just give us a retweet. get those likes up, get those people in. I know the Mark Goldbridge is just about to finishing right now. So yeah, get into the show, peeps. We're talking United, we're talking football. How about the midfield, guys? Ta-da.
Worries me. The midfield is the most worrying part of this team right now. And yeah, I've seen people say McTominay, Mainu, and Bruno or McTominay. You know, I'm no fan of his, and I think it's probably going to be one of the worst signings we've ever had. But what I feel we need to start seeing now is Mason Mount somehow proving that he's a player that was worthy.
Prove your number 7 shirt, please.
Yeah,
yes.
Not even just a number 7 shirt, just worthy of playing for Manchester United. We've not seen it. The manager then isn't trusting him, you know, which is really weird considering he's the player we chased all summer over a striker, is what we needed the most. You know, he's playing Sancho false 9. Listen, I'm not a fan of Mason Mount, never have been when he was at Chelsea. He's not a signing I was excited about, but he's here now. And again, with a lot of these players, he's going nowhere. So we really need to start seeing what this plan is of Ten Hag's for Mason Mount in this team. You know, you believe it's the 2 number 10s, but that's clearly not working. And that's then taken Mount out of the team. Mount himself has said he'll play as an 8. Let's start to see the trust that he can do it then for this team, because at the moment, with the options that are there, because as many goals as he scores, McTominay, he's still nowhere near good enough to play for Manchester United, in my eyes. We've got Amrabat there, who everyone was talking about. Yeah. So it needs to be an Amrabat, Mount, Bruno midfield for me, I think.
Good that you mentioned Amrabat, because I spotted the chat, some people saying, what about Amrabat? What about this? What about that? Amrabat will become good, because Amrabat didn't have a preseason at all. Like, he was training by himself. He was training in isolation. He refused to train with Fiorentina because he was just waiting and waiting and waiting for that move to Manchester United, which came at the end of the day. So he never had a preseason. And when he did get his debut, he was playing left back. So,
yeah, absolutely.
100%. Yeah, but we have a couple of youngsters that no one has mentioned. Well, how about Hannibal and Mainu?
Mainu, yes, true.
I feel sorry for Hannibal.
Yeah. Sorry for him. No, you say you feel sorry for him.
Yeah, I feel like he came in. Was it the Palace game? Him and Mount looked really good in the cup. You know, probably the best game we've had. Looking like we actually played some decent football, and then he started the Galatasaray game at home. I don't think he was the worst player on the pitch. Gets hauled off at half time, and we've barely seen him since. And I think that's, you know, that does nothing for a young player's confidence. And, you know, even when I think it was the Brentford game that was after that, and he was in the fold at that time after being brought off at half time. Yet he brings McTominay on, and yes, McTominay scores the goals, and it means nothing in the end. But it's like almost all of a sudden he's then not worthy of coming on when the team needs you. So that's why I feel sorry for him. He could do more, and I think he is a bit rash. You saw the Newcastle game, he lost his head. He still needs to work on that side of his game. But I don't think he's a bad player. I think he could be a good squad player for Man United. But yeah, when he was dragged off, I felt it wasn't deserved for him. But yeah, Kojo, you go. I've spoken enough.
No. I was just wondering. I was going to say, when you said Minor and Hannibal, I was thinking, to be honest, it might be a good time to give them some game time. But I wouldn't know. I'm not sure in which aspect. I'm to myself. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not convinced by Amrabat, and I do take into account everything that you said, Mick, about, you know, not having time to, you know, train with the team and get ready and all that stuff. But that window closed beginning of September. We're in November now. I need something to start picking up now, and, you know, really show his value, because if you're going to be the guy that is going to be in place when Casemiro is not there, and we can all argue, in fact, and say Casemiro did not start the season well, so there's an opening there now. Ten Hag is clearly showing that he's not doing favoritism, well, for the most part. So I just need to see something a bit more substantial from him, in my opinion. Yeah. But he probably will play. But Mino, I do want to see a bit more of him, but I just want a bit more calm with him, because Man United fans are very excited about him. And I'm excited about him as well. But I'm just like you guys. I'm from the age of young guys coming in and actually having time to develop. Yeah. I don't want it to be a Gavi situation where we just bring him in and play game after game after game, and he doesn't rest. Yeah. You know, ease him in, get him in. But yeah, man. What about Mason Mount, guys? Is Mason Mount ever going to start?
Can I just come back to what you say about time? You know, and you mentioned something very important with Kobe Mainoo as well, because I think that Ten Hag doesn't want to rush him back either. Ten Hag was devastated when he, like it was in pre-tour US. I think Ten Hag was kind of banking to use him this season because they're always looking for that Frankie de Jong prodigy, like, and Kobe Mainoo reminds me a little bit of Frankie, like, ball carrier, press resistant, brilliant passing. Jesus. So exciting times. We also have Amad Diallo also at the, on the sidelines as well. They're coming back. So we're looking good. We're looking good. Yeah. Mason Mount. Mountain Dew. Come on. I can move any mountains.
Yeah,
I think he'll come good personally, but
I think he'll become good. Yeah, he's showing some good class. Anyway, I'm just concerned about time. So otherwise, Jarvis is a specialist in doing Martin Scorsese long podcast, 2.5 hours.
Yeah. I have Joe Rogan as my what do you call it, copy. I try to make it as long as possible so we can really go deep and talk it through. So 2.5 hours, that's nothing. That's peanuts. Are we going to bring up the attack? Do we agree? Who do we start? Or Ericsson is still injured. He's out for a month, knee injury. We have the two youngsters. We have Mount. We have Amrabat and McTominay. I think McTominay have made a good impression this season. He has scored a lot of goals. I think 7 goals for Scotland this qualification round. That's amazing. He was the most scoring Scottish player since who was it? One of the legends for Scotland. The Trinity guy.
Trinity guy.
Dennis
Law? No.
Yeah, Dennis Law.
Oh, really? Wow, McTominay said the same class as Dennis Law for something. That's crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. So, but the thing with Ten Hag, he wants a player like that because he used Donny in that role when he played at Ajax. Like he comes in with the deep runs, always in the box, scoring the goals and help out the attack. So in that sense, when we have Mount and Amrabat, who is going to score the goals from that position? Because none of them look as a threat going forward, and goals are what gets us over the line. So in a way, I see why he plays McTominay.
No,
why
play players in form. I say play players that are in form, 100%. So give the lad a chance. But big up to Welshker as well, coming in to say also that Mount will become good. We get to read out some comments before we move on as well. And we have Peter Dre saying Hannibal, Pelistri, and Ahmad will never get first team starters. Well, this is what. How do you know that?
Not give it chances. Yeah, they won't be
chances. Yeah, we see the season is still long. You know what I mean? We still have a lot of games to be playing. And what you're saying, Maddie's saying, Amrabat, Hannibal, Bruno for you. We're talking about midfield. So we're actually transitioning over to the attack now. So just big up for you, Peter Dre. What you're saying here is the perfect time for these youngsters to shine in such an average team in certain positions. That's what it is, that's the Manchester United DNA, like, the youngsters, give the youngsters chance, but not count on them. Like, we should not count on Garnacho to start week in, week out. Like, he's still young and needs the development. Don't do it like a crash and burn like we did with Rashford, to be honest, right? So that's just my personal opinion, though.
Someone mentioned Pelistri there, and I've been screaming for Pelistri.
Yeah, me too, mate.
To start for United for so long. I mean, he's starting for Uruguay every single game. Like, Uruguay are no mugs. You know what I mean? They're a proper national 100%. Team outfit. He's starting in World Cup games. And for whatever reason, Ten Hag, I don't think rates him or hasn't got that full.
Or somebody that doesn't rate him.
I don't understand why. And for me personally, my own opinion on how I see why players, he is without doubt. I'm not including Ahmad in this just yet, but of what I've seen so far, he is our best winger without a shadow of a doubt. And the reason for this is because he's not in it for himself. He's not a greedy player. He's not wanting to take the limelight. He wants to create. And none of our wide players, Anthony, Bailey, Rashford and Garnacho, do not want to create for their striker. And Ahmad is all about that, getting to the byline, cutting it in. I really do feel, and again, Ten Hag, maybe not criticism, but throw him into the game at the Allianz against Bayern Munich to start is a real tricky one, and then not to see him start again after that is really unfair. And I think that's quite unfair on 2 young players to do certain things. And I think he couldn't do any more. I think which game was it? He come on and he changed it. He changed the game. Was it Fulham? And he scored. He helped set up the goal for Bruno against Fulham.
Yeah.
So he needs a chance. Like, just give the kid a chance. 3 or 4 games back to back. And I know there's some tricky games coming, so it might be a difficult period. But
you mentioned a very good point.
You can't do any worse than anyone
Double A,
else.
you mentioned a very good point. Give a run of games and they become good. You see, like, and if you gave Scott McTominay a run of games, he became good. You give Maguire a couple of run of games, the confidence, he became good. But what point is it to throw him in, like, in one game he does well and then you don't see the light of him for a couple of games more, like, so what does it do for the player's confidence? Like, you're busting your guts in the training. And what about Donny van der Beek? That's a mystery, like, nowhere to be seen. He's still in the squad.
Yeah. I think he's a steward now, isn't he? At Old Trafford. I think that's pretty much what he's up to now. He's not really anywhere near the team.
Get your hot dogs. Get your hot dogs here. Get your pies. Yeah, sorry, man. I feel sorry for Donny van der Beek, to be honest, guys.
Sorry for him. Really sorry for him.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
But you have a good point when it comes to Pelestri. But now I think we will get something for free because he have played 3 games for Uruguay, and he have played against good competition too. They played against Argentina, Brazil, and yesterday, who did they play against? Yesterday, he had an assist. Was it Bolivia or some team in a green jersey? I can't quite remember.
Yeah,
the VAR room will come with it.
Matt is coming up with a pain point here to say, like, I totally agree with you. The jury's out. First season, you should never judge the player in betting period, but this season alone, like, I understand what he's been going through in terms of all the allegation, what it does to mental health. But he's been absolutely atrocious.
It was Bolivia. No, it was Bolivia. I think
Venezuela.
It's Venezuela. Or
FOTMob says Bolivia, so I'm going to go over that.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I jumped the gun there. I was reading the chat regarding Anthony Dos Santos there. Like,
but my point is, he had 3 games now, almost 90 minutes every game. So now he's like match fit in a way, and he plays for Uruguay. Their coach is no other than the former Leeds coach Bielsa, and he demands a lot from his players. And there's no standing around and moping when you play for Bielsa. It's always 100%. It's full throttle from the beginning till end. So I think he should be fit enough to come in and fight for a starting position. And another thing, now he's match fit. Why don't start him and give him a chance? A couple of games, that would be perfect.
Yeah. I agree.
100%.
I agree fully. He deserves a chance. You can do no worse than what's being put out by the wingers at the moment. So you trust in Garnacho enough, and Garnacho can have stinkers and still.
Still he's good. I mean, I want to ask you guys. I want to ask the panel in the VR. Do you think it's too early just to start Garnacho for full 90 minutes, or do you think he's more of an impact player coming off the bench? Garnacho.
Oh, Garnacho, okay.
Yeah,
impact player for me. I think he's still very raw. He still needs to learn.
Super sub. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, super sub. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spot on. So you would still think that he will start Rashford then on the left?
I think Rashford might start up top. If Haaland's not 100%, I just don't trust him to start Martial.
Yeah,
I think it might be Rashford up top with Anthony and Garnacho.
Not bad shout.
I think he'll start Martial. I think he will.
Do you think?
I think so. I mean, I am seeing why you think he'll start Rashford, just because, I mean, even last season as well, he immediately went to that Rashford in the middle. But I think he's got to try to realize that the only way Rashford's ever going to get back into form right now is just being stuck on that left side. Because Garnacho, as much as I've got time for him, obviously I banged the drum off the young players and given them time, it's quite clear that he's not good starting, which is fine. He's still got a lot of time to get that in his system, but right now he's just not doing it. So I think you gotta bite the bullet and just play Martial up top, and that'll be 60 minutes. That's not going to be anything more than that. Get him in there he's your next number 9 after Højlund anyway. So you got to do it. I just
You know,
think so.
guys, it's been 2 weeks break, so I haven't been thinking much. But you know what? I keep forgetting that we do have Sunday, and then we have the Champions League away game as well. So it's all about who you're going to start against Everton and who you're going to save to play against Galatasaray, because that Galatasaray game is freaking important, guys.
Biggest game of the season. Absolutely biggest game of the season now.
It's going to be hell.
Sad to think. But yeah, you're right. You know, who does he risk? Who doesn't he risk? I think that's why Højlund, even though he may be, you know, potentially fit, I think he saves him for the Galatasaray game. He's so important that he starts that game for us because he's scoring all the goals in that competition. So it makes sense. But I fully hear what Kojo's saying, and yes, he has to trust. At some point, you have to trust Martial to start a game. And I was saying this early on in the season. You either last the game or he breaks down, and then we know where we're at. That you can't be trusted in this squad to play 90 minutes, and you have to be an impact player or come on for the last 30. But Summit screams that he likes, and last season made me think, was he turning Rashford into a number 9? The amount of times he was playing there. Summit just said in the back of my mind just says Rashford might just be the number 9 in this game, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, if Højlund has a little bit of knock, and Højlund is a leading goal scorer in the Champions League, 5 goals out of 4 games, right? So I think he will rest Højlund and rest him for Galatasaray again.
I think so.
And maybe it's not a bad shout to give.
I got something to say about this. Some of the last games he played, he chucked on Mason Mount as a striker in the last 10-15 minutes instead of playing Martial. What game was that? It was against
Copenhagen away.
Copenhagen, So he clearly doesn't trust Martial at all. So I don't think he will start. I agree with Kojo when he thinks about starting Rashford up top. Or was it AA who said it? But with you, AA. Yeah, so because I don't think he trusts Martial at all.
Okay, Beef Cobra coming say martial arts. That's a good one. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi. No, listen, 3 points. That's what matters, peeps. 3 points. I mean, going away to Everton, that's just been handed a pounding. 10 points, deduction. I think they're looking to strike, to be honest, but I don't know. Sean Dyche, you know what I mean? Everton is, it's not an easy ground to go and play. We barely come away with maybe we scrape a 1-0 or draw, to be honest.
Our farm is so up and down at that ground. Sometimes we go and we batter them, and other times they absolutely tear us a new one. And you never know, what Everton's going to turn up on, which United's going to turn up. And, like you said, they've been on some decent form. Last game they won away at West Ham, did it end up a draw? I think they win 3-2, I think. So, they were playing decent, and obviously, like you say, they've had that 10 points. They've got a point to prove now, and they'll be scrapping in every single game. Sean Dyche is a master at sort of battening down the hatches and, us versus them kind of attitude. They'll be right up for this game now, even more so. And that crowd at Goodison is quite unforgiving, and they're quite close to the pitch. And like I say, we've struggled there in the past, and it's so important. And I won't be surprised if it's that's why I think Rashford might play 9, because it'll be just contain, break. Just try and catch them on the break and be as quick as possible.
I just want to mention something, because our chat room is the best chat room in the world. We call them the VR room, but they're also reactionary like the stock market, So as soon as you mention Mason Mount to play as a striker, Roger instantly reactionary say, will he play fake number 9? Fake number 9.
Fake 9.
Or I say, I used to joke like Maguire plays a false number 5. Anyway, guys, big up. Smash that like, please. We are slaving. We're making a 5-course meal as per usual. And Ten Hag is cooking a meal on Sunday, I think. There was some disgrace that it was also a big game that's not going to be broadcast. There was one of the top flight games. I can't remember. It was Spurs versus I can't remember now. I was listening.
Anyway. Yeah, it's because of the 3 o'clock rule.
Yes, this bullshit. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Crazy, ain't it? Crazy, ain't it? All right, guys. So we are concluded with the strikers, right?
I think so.
Conscious of time, guys. Conscious of time. We have 2 topics left, or unless you want to add on something, Jarvis.
No,
Tom
I'm okay
Bottom's
with the lineup. I think it will be
Yeah.
because as you mentioned, we play Galatasaray. He needs to like chop and change a little bit. There will be something in between, I believe, and both against Everton and Galatasaray.
Anyway, big up Tom Botton. I haven't seen you before, so welcome to the stream. Welcome to the family. What you're saying, I love that WTF. I'm going to debunk it, but I'm not going to say it live because the YouTube algorithm, you know what I mean. But you're saying Everton will be up for it, siege mentality and all that. Yeah. Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. Listen, let's go straight into we have 2 topics left, mate. So I'm dreading this one because it's going to be, we spoke so much about it, and listen, but we got to do it. We got to do it. We are committed, 100%. We have 2 topics left, and that is the Jim Ratcliffe 25% delay. But I do have a point that I want to talk about regarding that tab, and we have the FFP crackdown. So let's spin the wheel of fortune. Get in there, son. Get into my belly. Oof. Looks like destiny is going to be with us. That we have to speak about the takeover, the last of the show, guys. FFP crackdown. We had Swedish Rumble on earlier this afternoon or this morning, and we spoke very from legal standpoint because he's a legal litigator. He works with the mergers and acquisitions. Been doing fantastic tweets, but FFP is cracking down right now, and I want to hear from you guys since I haven't heard your opinion, AA, and I haven't heard, Kojo's opinion as well. Of course, do you think it was right that they cracked down on Everton with 10 points? Or did they send the president a benchmark to what's to come?
I'll let you go first, Kojo.
Oh, okay. Everton had to be punished because they broke the rules. Mm-hmm. So there was some form of punishment coming in. The points deduction might sound crazy, but if it's not that, it's a very hefty fine or some sort of transfer embargo or something. Either way, you're not going to be very happy. Now, the issue is, now that you've cracked down on them, you have to crack down on the other 2 in question, Manchester City and Chelsea. And the reason why they haven't cracked down on Man City yet is because, if anyone remembers, they got 115 charges, not 1. So this is going to take a long time before we can go to their neck. And Chelsea,
we don't see any City. We usually have some City fans chatting with us, but they're nowhere to be seen, mate.
Yeah, it's getting very spooky for them right now. Believe me. And then you've got Chelsea, who apparently have just been breaking rules from 2004. So it's a big case, but something has to happen with Everton because I think we've all been aware of the fact that they've had money issues for a long time, difficulties with ownership. So it was gonna be something at some point, and 10 points is a big amount of points. But I will say this: they still are able to get out of the relegation zone within 2-3 games if they find a decent amount of form. So it's not all terrible for them, and I think they'll be fine at the end of the season anyway.
They'll be fine.
But now the pressure is Man City and Chelsea. You need to act fast now because 115 charges, you're definitely guilty of something. There is no way you have not done something wrong. So I'm waiting to see what happens with them.
AA, riddle me this. Okay. How in the earth are you, disclosing your financial report and you're making more money in profits than Manchester United, Real Madrid, and the top clubs? Everyone knows that, Etihad, they call it Emtihad, right? Yeah. It is a clear as day that these buggers are actually cooking the books somehow.
They have to be, because let's not get it twisted. Manchester City are the best team in the world. They are not the biggest club in the world. They don't have that reach, that fan base. I'm from Manchester. I know. To this day, my voice, obviously, yeah, of course. There's not that many City fans. I know City fans, but it's not like you see them everywhere you go in Manchester. You know what I mean? So it's like, yes, they are getting to that level of an elite club, but we know how they've done it. All the backhandedness and making up job roles and all this for Mancini. it's in plain sight. You're doing it in plain sight, like you say, posting these record revenues. It's false. We know it's false, and
yeah, but they've been also done for not disclosing the remuneration package for the manager and certain players, hiding the financial information.
It's crazy, and you have to think eventually those chickens are going to come home to roost. And listen, it's hard. It's hard for me as a Manchester United fan to be laughing at City's house burning down when my kitchen's on fire, because I know what the state of our club and how dangerous we are as a club, where our finances are. But you know, we're flirted with FFP, or so the club will tell you.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to laugh at them, but at the same time, you know, if Everton are breaking rules and having 10 points deducted, if you've got 115 and someone said actually 116, I mean, I can understand why it's going to take so long. But if they're guilty of even 10 of those or 20 of those in the end, you have to think there's going to be some serious consequences to those rule breaks. It'll be interesting to see it unfold, but history tells me you've seen City do it before. I imagine they've got all 1,050 lawyers that he had last time.
But you know what?
Like this.
I'm gonna hold my beer on that one, because we have an ex-City.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. A disgrace. That's what it is. A disgrace.
Disgrace. That's a disgrace. The thing is, interesting enough what you're saying there, because in the Court of Arbitration in Switzerland, they did something called time bar stamping by just overturning, appealing. But the independent investigation with the Premier League, that's it. You cannot kick the can further. They're very strict. Once they make their mind up, that's it. You can't. But the thing is, what I read is that they haven't even started, because they need to have watertight facts, because if you slip up against these sleeky lawyers, there's no more case. But however, those 115 charges are broken down in 3, 4, 5 different segments, what they have broken. And that comes to the question, guys. In the world of sport, what I grew up with, right? Watching Olympics, being an athlete myself, I played the game as well. Doping, bodybuilding, people take testosterone to build that physique. What it comes down to is from 2010 to now, it's basically they've been taking steroids, to be honest, to be inflating and building that squad. You can say you have a good squad, right? Good players. But it's how you got to that point, basically. So basically, it's just doing the analogy to say, I took steroids to get to the physique that I have today, right? So any given Sunday, if you look at cycling, if you take Neil Armstrong, he got caught by doping. They stripped away all his medals, all his record. Ben Johnson in sprinting, the same. And the list goes on and on. So the same energy, if you set Everton as a president, that you are actually setting that benchmark for just breaching a little bit. Okay, we had some financial problems. We went over that threshold, which is, the debt threshold, but we had to stay alive. And they was compliant with it. They were working with Premier League to say, yes, we're working with you. How can we sort of reduce the wage bill, stuff like that? But City on the other hand, Chelsea on the other hand, is surely it's got to come down sooner or later. And then surely it's going to go down to strip down all your treble, all your medals, and just look at what they did to Juventus. Just put them down in the second division.
Can I just say one thing? I'm quite scared of them taking away the titles, because that will mean Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would have won a league title for Man United.
Yeah, no way.
The last thing I need is all these sexuals, as people call them, crying that they need to get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer back.
I told you so. We won a title with Ole.
So, relegate them, but let them keep the titles, please. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
For real. Seriously. The Ole sexual's going to come. Ole at the wheel. Yeah.
Was that you?
Me?
Laughing?
With the one tooth? Oh, I no. Yeah, no. I thought I'm much prettier than the guy with the one tooth.
Sorry. Can I bring something up, Mick,
Sure.
while we talk about the subject? I have this planche made of from Swedish Rumble.
yes.
I will just add it to stage because this is very clarifying for the what's the charges is about. If you can see to the right there, you see what time is 2010, 2011, 2012, and so on. And there's basically like 5 charges. And there's a new charge for every year. So charge not to provide correct financial information, not provided full details of manager payment, not provided the full details of player payment, breach UEFA FFP, and breach profitability and sustainability, and not assisted with Premier League investigations. So these are basically the 5 main charges, and you have 5 new ones the next year and 5 new ones the next year, and the same charges goes again and again. So that's why you have 115 charges. So there's basically about 32 charges that they're up against. And we all know, and all of this is out because of the leaked emails. The leaked emails came with the payments to Roberto Mancini, the coach, manager, and Yaya Toure, money under the table. So the evidence is there. So there's no way for City to hide. No,
they're not going to be able to hide because this independent investigation, that's it. That's the end of the road. You can kick that can with time barring stamping in the Court of Arbitration in Switzerland, the sport. But here, this is independent. This is it. You cannot overturn. You cannot do time bar stamping. So this has got to be now. The cards on the table, mate. They've been charged. It's just interesting to see what they're going to do about it. Because at the end of the day, City, I believe that at the end of the day, they're going to call up Sheikh Mansour to say, listen, mate, you're going to lose your Premier League license. And he's probably going to sell the club, otherwise he's going to be incriminated. And when push comes to shove, you do anything to win. But at the end of the day, he's going to sell the club to the Glazers, I reckon.
What if just Sheikh Jassim gets him? Oh, I imagine that.
And I just know not to.
That would kill me. That.
No, sorry. I don't wish any rival fans any a slow cancer death by the Glazers. Glazers does not need to be any close to any footballing club. In my opinion,
it should be banned for life.
Thanks for the Glazers. We now implemented new rules that you cannot buy any club on leverage buyout or any loans, and that's due to the Glazer ownerships. So, mad. It's a mad world, guys. We have 1 point left, but before we do, brace yourselves. I just want to go to the VR room to see what you guys are saying. Fingers on the polls. What you're saying, guys. Sorry for coughing. Whatever decision, what you're saying, Maddie, or whatever the decision, is trusting the board. No, that was the wrong. Yeah, Pep. Well, what about Pep Guardiola said that he's trusting the board? He did. He said that. 100%. He said I trust, and if they're lying to me, I will walk away. But the question is,
get ready to walk
he's
away.
been involved in corruption before with Barcelona and everything else. Win at all costs, isn't it? Big up. Anyway, we are suffering, guys, and do we even have to spin that wheel? Do we? Let's do it. Let's see, because the media's been spinning us dizzy, so why not? What is it going to end up? All right. Ratcliffe, and Sky News Media. It turns out to be then more smoke without. Where's the fire? We've been doing this podcast for, I think I've done over 200 Glazers Up videos. I had Swedish Rumble on today. Speaking about FFP, if you want to know more about FFP and the allegations, go check second half of that video. That was a live broadcast today, lunchtime. We also spoke about make it make sense. And still, nobody can make any sense out of it, to be honest, because what I've been trying to do, I think it's been more the trails of Sky News propping it up. Like, the old trails leads to Sky News, basically. And they say that, Sheikh Jassim is out and bigging up this 25%. But at the end of the day, it's not enough, because if you're going to take care of the footballing operation side of it, the lucrative side is on the commercial side, right? This is where Manchester United is making most of the money. We've been generating a debt close to 1 billion. We did make some profit, but generated some losses as well. Now, From a footballing operations side, if a new, you got to split that up into two halves, right? 12.5% goes to the Glazers' pocket. It's not going into the club. 100%. That's not going to clear the debt, wherever. You're still trying to make you dizzy to say, like, divide and conquer, to say, hey, look at this way, guys. You're going to get a new CEO. You're going to get a director of football. Fantastic. Paul Mitchell. And everyone's getting on the gravy train. Giddy. Yay. But what about the funds, what we talked about in January? Where are you going to get the money to pay for these players? Because we still have we still loan 300 million from Santander Bank to cover it. Like, we bought players on the credit. So we cannot do that anymore. So somebody has to clear the loan. And there's surely Premier League rules to say you cannot come in with debts. And the way Sir Ratcliffe and Ineos is going to absorb that debt, I just don't find it plausible. So I think this is a lot of complications and smoke screens. They come out to say Monday, not Monday, it was the funeral. God bless his soul. You know who we're talking about. And then they say Thursday, and then Friday about next week. And now they're saying Thanksgiving. And now they say next year. Or I say never. Guys, I want to hear from you. Kojo, what do you reckon? Is it a lot of stuff from British media?
Yeah, well,
they work with Talksport and the media and stuff like that. It's more of selling clicks and.
Well, they always sell clicks, don't they? Especially TS. No, look, the one thing I'll say is it's quite clear that whatever happens, he's going to get 25%. My main concern is what he does with it at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
He is very much in charge of sporting affairs. The current rumors about Jean-Claude Blanc or how is it?
Yeah, well, he was always
Jean-Claude Blanc. Yeah, Jean-Claude Blanc. I mean, I know his history with Juventus and what he did after the first scandal they had in the 2000s, and he did a fantastic job bringing him back up. So he knows his business, he knows what he's doing. That's a good start. We've been linked with Paul Mitchell. That's a good start. We've been linked with Dougie Freeman. And for anyone that knows what he's been doing at Crystal Palace, he's done a phenomenal job there as well. So, and that's important for me because these are people with the football heads. Freeman, when that name was linked, a lot of United fans were like, why you go for Freeman? It's good.
But you know what? He goes to South London and identify those cage players, you know what I mean? So he's got enough
talent. He identifies talent. He's doing his job well. So, that's the most important thing for me. I was not on Sir Jim's side in this takeover talk, but if he's going to come and do a great job on the sporting side, I'm all here for it. So,
but the question is, with what money? That's the thing. With what money? At the end of the day, FFP is cracking down on clubs at the moment. So you got to absorb the debt, and that debt needs to then be thrown. It's going to be obviously being thrown back at Manchester United as well. You can refinance it, but it's going back on the club. That's the thing. And that's something that we don't want.
That's what I'm waiting for in terms of when the takeover. Well, it's 25%, so it's not really a takeover. But when he gets his 25%, that's why I want to figure out or find out what the details are, because that's when we get a full breakdown, the picture. We've all heard the rumors of they may take on United's debt and move it over to Ineos, and they deal with it from there. There's been so many rumors. We just need clear, concise information, so we just know, this is where it's going to be. This is where we are. And this is what we can or possibly cannot spend. But until then, it's all just rumors. And who knows? Maybe he comes in and maybe he's not better. Maybe he brings in football heads. But can we spend? Can we sell? Because we might not, more than anything, we don't know how to sell. We know how to buy. We definitely know how to buy. We don't know how to sell properly. So
Double A.
Yeah, that's it.
Double A.
I'm not around my way, guys. So
thanks for coming on, Kojo.
Man. Go follow Kojo 3 in the midfield. Thank you, Kojo, for coming in. Always a pleasure. See you next time, sir.
Always, man. Thank you.
Good night. Say hello to your family and your baby.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Double A, you walk the streets of Manchester. You feel you have the finger on the pulse. What are the Mancunians saying, to be honest? Did they want Sir Jim Ratcliffe 25%? Or
I generally think it's a mixed bag. I think, people are always skeptical of following the line of City and Newcastle, because you see obviously the negativity that follows those kind of ownerships. And where I've always stood, it doesn't matter who it is. It could have been Sir Jim. It could have been Sheikh Jassim. All I've ever wanted is a full sale. The Glazers do not deserve another day as owners of Manchester United, and that's what is killing this football club year in, year out. And it's actually, I don't know if you know, it's actually a year to the day that they announced all this sale nonsense. It's been a full year.
Happy Thanksgiving for people in the US.
Yeah, big up everyone celebrating, and we're still no closer to knowing anything or who is. We know it's going to be Sir Jim, but we don't know anything of what he actually wants to do. It's been quite secretive on that front. Obviously, NDAs and stuff probably lead to that. But what I worry about is that people seem to be, and you have to take anything good from this situation because it's nothing that I want. So it's people are obviously taking the small bits of stuff being fed to us and taking the positives. Yes, he's taken over the football side. Yes, Richard Arnold's now going. Is Murta on the chopping block as well? But what fans really need to remember the most and never forget, we are still owned by the Glazers. They are not going. Just because Jim's coming in doesn't mean that we're then going.
You reckon they're ever going to give, even if he comes in like a mug, we let you decorate our house, you build a stadium, blah blah blah, and you reckon they're going to give away the authorities, the keys to the kingdom? No, I don't think so.
Avram and Joel probably still own more than he will. So, and as we know, Joel especially is power hungry. He's desperate to be seen as Mr. Manchester United, even though he clearly doesn't.
Yeah, but that's the point. From a Manchester United, from a Mancunian perspective, he did a very dodgy manifesto to put Manchester back into Manchester United. And I go, hang on a second, that sounds a little bit off to me. Majority of the revenue generation comes from the fans, global fans, right? They're not match-going fans.
Absolutely. Like, if Manchester United were just Manchester, we wouldn't be as big as we are. It's the fact we are, what, for me, I say this a lot and people tend to either not agree or find it weird that I'm saying this, but for me, there's 3 clubs in the world that should be consistently seen as not necessarily the best, but the biggest and hold the highest standards more than anyone else. That's Barcelona, Real Madrid, and ourselves. Growing up on Deloitte, they were the 3 big clubs that were earning the most and were the richest all the time.
Right.
So we need to have them standards. And what we've seen over the last 18 years is Manchester United being taken over by every single club in terms of standards and in terms of facilities. And
you mentioned something with standards there, sir. And I'm going to throw it back to you as if you are a proper Manchester United fan, you know that we always want high standards, right? High standards. Yep. So I'll pose the question back to everyone that's watching this video. When you watch Manchester United play, do you demand them for 100% performance on the pitch, or do you expect them to do 25% performance? The same energy should go to the takeover. What good is 25% and just watch the Glazers still driving that Ferrari? Honest to God, then 100%.
Has to be. That's the only way United will ever become not even just competitive, serious. We're not a serious club. We're a joke throughout Europe in terms of our strategies, in terms of contract negotiations. Clubs see us coming a million miles away. Know they can take the mick out of us. That might change under Jim Ratcliffe with this new football structure. That's yet to be seen. But for me, Manchester United will never be serious. It will never ever be classed as a big club again until the Glazers are gone, and that's what we need fans the most.
So we should read out Nigel Flynn's super chat. Sorry, Nigel, for neglecting you. We're not neglecting. We're just having an interesting discussion. Hypothetically, Mick, I wonder, has Sir Jim Ratcliffe offered the Glazers small percentage of the fracking profits? God, you're absolutely touching my nerves there. We're talking about PDL 193, the fracking rights, where Hugh means the great Manchester area. He's basically, Ineos owns that fracking right, the natural resources beneath. And there's been some rumors, speculations that you're going to knock down and move the stadium somewhere so we can start fracking eventually. I dare to say it. I don't know. They have the fracking rights to 25, 26. And so far, it's been getting a lot of PR, free PR, because nobody knew who Ineos was 1 year ago, to be honest. And most of the leaks and most of the information is coming out from, because I had Swedish Rumble and we talked about it. And most of these leaks coming out from the PR agents, because everyone has a PR agency, right? So most of the information has been coming from Ineos PR camp, leaking out to the gravy train. I call them the gravy train. You know what I'm talking about, the journalists, without mentioning the names, right? So On the other hand, like, if you look at 92 Holding Foundation, they are not bidding. They're only bidding for themselves, right? They are 100%. So why should I bid against somebody that's 25%? So the truth is coming out eventually. But I want to bring out to this stage because I think this man has a little bit of a hard on for Sir Alex, to be honest, because Alex was also speaking today regarding this, and that sent a little bit of a shockwave. We know that he's a big fan of Sir Alex Ferguson, like, he looks up to him, but he was saying, I'm sure he's going to do fine. Like, I'm still on director on the board, he said, Sir Alex, but I'm so sure if Joe Ratcliffe comes in, he's going to be fine. And that was getting people off. It's like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm going to read that quote precisely, guys. So let's bring this to the stage. And basically he was saying that, speaking to Gambling Zone, Ferguson said via Manchester Evening News, I'm still a director of the club, and I think I know Jim well. We should have to see what he does, but I'm optimistic that he said, like, guys. So let that sink in as well, because Ratcliffe also said, I know the Glazers. They're the nicest family. They're owned by 6 siblings, and they're the nicest people. And now we hear the same thing coming from a legendary manager to say, I know Sir Jim. He's a nice person. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I think there's got to be a lot of changes, and I know there's going to be a lot of changes. We see the changes already happening with the CEO and stuff like that. A restructure is needed. 10 years we haven't won a trophy, not even in Champions League, not even in Premier League, and we cannot continue like this. It's not sustainable.
No, you're absolutely right. I worry. It's sad to see Sir Alex Ferguson saying stuff like that, but the more you see him sort of on the sidelines, seeing what's happening with the club, the stadium, he's got a front row seat to all of this. And
he never spoken up. That's the thing.
So it leads me to believe he's happy. He likes the Glazers. He's happy with them. And that's sad. That's sad. That's a sad thing to contemplate. But the evidence suggests that he clearly is. He's not ever come out and he's the voice that the fans would listen to the most. Anything he would say regarding the Glazers or against them, he's only going to help in the battle to get them out of the club.
I hate to say this. I did a podcast on about this and the Rock of Gibraltar and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And it's for this bloody horse that enabled the Glazers to come on power. And when he retired, they made him a board of directors without voting power. Him and David Gill, and they've been sitting there for 10 years taking pay, without even saying anything. So is there a clause in the contract that you should just be a poster boy for us? Here's a payment, but keep it quiet, like, put an NDA in close, like, gag order, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. I just hate to say it because he's such a legend, and I grew up with Sir Alex, so many memorable moments. So for me it's taboo to say, but we got to ask the hard questions. Why are you not speaking up? Why didn't you speak up? Why did you let Glazers destroy your legacy, what you build up?
The good thing is, I've always found I do it with musicians. When musicians have scandals, I can always separate the artist and the music from the actual person. I can do that with Sir Alex Ferguson. Brilliant manager, the manager I grew up with and I will always love. But you have to look at the person, and is the person complicit to everything that's going on with the club? Is he in bed with the Glazers? You would have to say on the evidence that he probably is. And listen, we all know the only way we're ever going to compete and win things or even contemplate winning things is with the Glazers gone, because they've held us back year after year for the last 18 years. And Ferguson did a good job of masking that. But the last 10 years, the chickens really have come home to roost. And so, for me, Sir Jim with 25%, there's no clear path of, because he wanted 100%, and then it was 50, 75, 50. They just knocked him down more and more to get what they want because they want to cling on to power. So, like you say, there's no plan or from what I've seen of the debt going. So that's
but the thing is,
and that's going to get worse. The stadium needs to go or needs to be rebuilt.
The debris they fell down in the women's game there's so much to be fixed, mate. But the thing is, I'm not a mug. I have a photographic memory. I remember articles. I scrutinize everything. 1 week ago, it was an article to say if Sir Jim Ratcliffe comes in, he wants Sir Alex to be part of that rebuild. Yeah. You remember that article?
Yeah, he did.
And now he's coming out and speaking well about Sir Jim. Is that a coincidence, or am I just, hey, I'm a mug? I don't know.
I'm sorry, but Fergie's 10 years ago. We need to move on from that era.
Yeah.
That's what held us back, because I do it now when I talk about United. Oh, well, under Fergie, under this is how he was. This is how it was. That's long and gone. This is Manchester United's problem. We live in the past.
In the past,
when every other team is 2030, we're still in 1990. We're too far away. Like we need to quickly become, a modern club with everything modern, and we're not doing that. I just think, listen, Sir Jim, again, it's a vanity project. He's a Manchester United fan, apparently, wants to be seen as the Manchester United owner. I just don't think he'll ever buy the club. I don't think he can afford to. So if he can't buy the club now for 100%, even though he's supposed to have the money to do so, if he can't do it now, he's not going to do it in 3 or 4 years, because the Glazers believe,
fuck it. We just have to wait.
10 billion.
We just have to fucking wait and see. That's the thing. Sorry for swearing. I don't swear much on my channel, but when I do, I'm upset. At the end of the day, I'm just sick and tired of this media apparatus spinning us dizzy, because they've been feeding from the grave. They're feeding from the gravy train. The leaks came from Richard Arnold and everything else. Yeah. At the end of the day, the staff at Carrington's are the ones that are suffering, because they don't know anything. There is no certainties if they're going to have a job. They haven't been getting appraisals, like, salary increases. Nothing. And what you're saying, that the stadium, when the Glazers took it over, that lady, that was a state-of-the-art stadium back 18 years ago. That was like you bought a brand new SL Mercedes, And nowadays, everyone surpassed you. They have Bluetooth. They have like Jarvis. He's got a Tesla self-driving. You know what I mean? And we're still back on, back in 18 years driving the same old rusty car. Yeah. That lady needs a little bit of pamper and TLC, And who's going to do that?
Facelift and a boob job.
And what media is putting out there, that's bigging up, like, is he gonna he's gonna invest 300 million into infrastructure? Mate, did you see those pictures the other day? That stadium is rot. 300 million. It's not going to fix anything, mate.
No, not going to touch the sides.
Right.
Concrete falling down.
Yeah, Nigel Flynn, big up, coming up for a final super chat. Say the structural PR spin from United, Mick. Saeed is giving his approval before announcement to please the fans. Not usual for me. For media, it's clever. I mean, we have Neil Ashton spinning his plates, and I've been in this game for too long. I know how we understand. The same with the transfer market. PR is PR, free PR. Like, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. I give you a little bit of a snippet. Doesn't really have to be true, but you as a journalist, you can print it. You know what I mean? And that generates your clicks and editorials and stuff like that. So what I'm coming out to say, the Sky is in the mud, because Sky was saying it's imminent. It's now. It's today. It's coming out. Oh, maybe next year. It's so complex in advance.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen the last of it, and I'm afraid to say to you fans, happy Thanksgiving. I don't think we will see anything this year.
No. But like the Glazers, they drag everything out, even the stuff we're not looking forward to. They drag out every transfer. We just end up, please just get it over the line. I'm bored of hearing Hoyland's name. I'm bored of hearing Mount's name. Just sign the goddamn player.
I just want to play fucking football.
This is what they're doing. They take the fun out of everything, even the things we don't find fun. They take the fun out of that. They have a real uncanny way of just prolonging everything to death and draining every last resource and every last ounce of energy that fans have for this football club. They've done it year on year, and they'll consistently do it until the hallelujah day that they finally kicked out the club and never to be seen again. And for me as a fan, that's the day I long for. I cannot wait.
And I bet you, Aaron, a lot of fans feel like this.
Yeah,
that's the evil enemy. That's the evil enemy. $1 million.
$1 billion.
$6 billion. That's the Glazers. $6 billion.
Brilliant panel. Let's tie this up, guys.
Mick, can I just have a word about? I didn't get to speak about Ratcliffe because we got to rewind a little bit, because we all heard about the 9-2 Foundation, Yasim coming in with Qatar money, and everybody was, wow, this is what we want. This is the dream. And if let's just say hypothetically that we didn't have the Qataris coming in and this was the only offer, Jim Ratcliffe 25%. Would we
Oh,
be
yeah.
happy with it? I think most fans, in a way, would say, okay, it's a little bit better than 100%
If it was
Glazers.
2 years
Or
ago, we would snap his hand to say yes, please,
yeah.
100%. But
So
when we've
so
seen the light, when we've seen the manifestos, one is 100%. Everything that we want, pledgement, new stadium, women's team, everything is perfectly fine. Invest around Manchester, and then you see the other one, put Manchester into Manchester United. Like, what the
yeah,
hell?
but the thing is, now we have seen the Qataris, and people talk about Jim Ratcliffe like he's like a poor beggar on the street with not
And
wearing
it's not
clothes, and because he's actually the richest man in the UK, and
by
and and
asset.
he's worth 70 billion in assets. So it's not pocket change we are talking about. And we got to remember, we have a revenue in Man United of 650 million. Is it dollars or pounds a year? We had a record revenue this year, and it will probably
Pounds.
increase up until 1 billion a year. So we don't need money in the club.
We don't need a
because we
sugar
create
daddy. No,
our own
no.
money.
We
But
just
we
need to
need
absorb the debt.
to delete it. Yeah, and that's and they have a solution. They want to bring, as I have read, and Tom told me, Tom Journalist One, he told me that they will bake 2/3 of the debt into Ineos, and the remaining 1/3 they will sell as bonds to
That's debt again.
cover that and pay it down by 2 to 3 years.
Refinance. It's a
Yeah,
refinance,
they
mate.
will
It's debt.
refinance.
But they're going to
As
throw it
Tom
back to the
told me,
club.
they have a plan to fix this. So maybe it's
I
not
don't
all
believe it.
dark. I'm not trying to be like Sir Jim in or Qataris out, but we gotta have it a little bit perspective when we see
But that's
things.
a fucking red flag anyway when you're going to refunds and you're talking about debt, because fans are going like, what the hell? We don't want debt. That's the thing. But I get your point, man. If he was coming in like 2 years ago with this proposal, we will take it 100%. But again, keep the powder dry, and nobody really knows, because what we demand as a fans, we should scrutinize, as I deluded before. 100% we want to see a team perform on the pitch, and 100% same energy to stamp our authorities to say we want to see what is this plan going forward. Until then, over to the fat lady things. I see there's just been a lot of smoke without fire. I see that predominantly it's been driven by the British media, the sports journalists, the Guardians, and all that stuff, the Independents, Ben Jacobs, and it's been spinning and spinning, because at the end of the day, they want to win a Pulitzer Prize. Are they really Manchester United fans? No, they're not. Do they care about us fans? No, they're not. Do they care about creating clicks for you to click day in, day out, checking your news on your phone, Twitter every minute for updates, creating your mental health stability? I see a lot of fans, community chat are giving up to say, well, hang on. If I go to battle, right, and I bring you Jarvis, and you have this mentality that as soon as I come to the front line, I'm just going to lay down and die. So what's the point of bringing you, Jarvis, then? We're going in together to fight together, 100%, right?
Going to war together.
This siege mentality, mate. So guys, don't be fooled, right? It's green and gold until we're 100% sold. That's what this channel is all about.
Always.
Right? I don't care who buys this, as long as there's no Glazer. That's the thing. I always kept the same energy. I don't care if it's Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I don't care if it's Qatar or whatever comes in. But as long as we don't have any Glazers in the house, 18 years is enough, mate. 18 years is enough.
Mick, let me show you this. This is my analogy of the Glazers. This is SS Man United. You have a big hole in the ship. That's the problem. And the captain is Joel Glazer, and he loves his captain uniform because it's so shiny and bright, and he can walk around with his chest up high. But he's a fool. He have never been the captain of a ship before. But this is what he does because he loves the uniform. And the ship is the water is pouring in all the time. But how do you solve the problem? He spends all his money buying pumps and try to drain out the water, pump it out, and just keep running in the sea. This is what the captain is doing, because
Captain.
He has no idea what he's doing, because obviously the ship should be in dock and we should fix the holes and then go up out on the sea again. But now this is what's happening with Man United, and we're floating around with the big hole in the ship.
Big hole for a big rat. That's what Maddie's saying. Big up, Maddie, for coming in with your energies, guys. Listen, that was a great picture, to be honest, right? But I don't believe this. I cannot add up this 25%. I've been doing this for a long time. I smell a rat. Bring in Gordon Ramsay. Let's cook a ratatouille. Come on. So anyway, what I always say, keep the powder dry, take it with a pinch of salt, whatever you read. Apply your logic, sense, and reasoning, and always criticize what you're reading, because at the end of the day, you got to recognize what is gash, what is recycle, and what is a headline. Today's journalism is all about headlines, unfortunately. And we are running out of steam, guys. It's 5 o'clock in the morning for me. Can you believe it or not?
2 o'clock.
We had
2 hours.
2 hours. We managed to do a Scorsese. As soon as Jarvis is on, we do like a 2 hours. Say hello to my family.
You can't refuse.
Really? Really?
2 hours.
Say hello to my little friend.
Guys, brilliant. Thank you for coming in, guys. Thank you for providing your energy in the VR room. We had a brilliant podcast today and amazing debutante on this channel. Double A, where can people find you, sir?
Oh yeah, thank you so much, Mick, Jarvis, the chat. Thank you so much for having me on. It's been a pleasure to come and talk about United. Double A, you can find me there. Double A Football on Twitter and Instagram. I've got 2 channels. So Double A FC is kind of I've named it the holiday home of football. So if you want to go away for a little bit, get away from the toils of talking about Manchester United. It's a little bit of fun, a little bit of different stuff over there. Recently went over to my first Serie A game, so I've got a vlog over there of me checking out Italy for a little bit and going to watch a Champions League game, a Serie A game, sorry. And I also have talking kit. You may see I've got some kits behind me. The greatest football kit content on YouTube. So talking kit is our kit channel as well. But yeah, 2 channels, and I really appreciate any of you going over and checking us out. But what you need to be doing is liking this video and make sure you're supporting these guys because they do some good stuff, and happy to be a part of it. For sure.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you for your lovely words, sir. And yes, you see you on Saeed's channel, and I saw you yesterday with Beth. How is Beth, by the way? She's a nice person, or?
I love Beth. Yeah, so obviously I'm on Saeed on a Sunday on the Unfiltered podcast, and I do work with United Stand as well. But no, Beth, honestly, Beth, great person, knows the football. I think she gets a little bit too much stick sometimes, being a young woman in the football space. It's unfair, but she's really knowledgeable, really works hard, and I think she's a great creator, and she deserves to the success that she's getting.
All the best. Good. Yeah, well, content creating is a lot of graphs, people, so we do respect each other's work. Sometimes we don't agree with the stand and the clickbait stuff what the Goldbridge putting out, but it is what it is. It's the biggest in the industry, isn't it? So, he works hard as well. So anyway, Jarvis is the hardest working person up here because, he's here.
No.
Oh, yes, you are.
No, it's hardly work sitting here talking football. It's my favorite thing in the world, so I can't complain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway. Double A, it's a pleasure to have you here, and hope to see you so more on this channel as well. And Jarvis, you got to take care of your family, okay?
Yeah, I got to take care of the family.
Just to remind you guys, we are back in the morning with the morning paper talk, 8:30 UK time. Tune in because we got some big covering points. And then in the evening, we're going to do the match preview. I think it's the United Phil Standish.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm going to be not part of it, but perhaps you see Jarvis in there. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope Phil will invite me on. I will, of course, do the show with him. But we will see tomorrow. I don't know what he has planned.
Okay, guys. Listen, time to say goodbye. And listen, be nice to each other and social. And forget about the takeover for now. Think about football because we are back. We're playing football. And that's what we are all about. Football channel. But all I want to say is Glazers out, full sale only. Bankers out. Love and light. Bella, take it away. See ya, guys. Bye for now.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up by smashing that like button. Subscribe if you have not done so yet. If you want to take it to the next level, you can always show your appreciation to sponsor our channel by clicking below the video title where you will see the heart icon with the text saying, thanks. Or you could buy me a cheeky little coffee. by scanning this barcode or visit this link to buy me a virtual coffee. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this content. Remember, glory, glory, Man United. Glazers out. It is green and gold until we are announced and sold. That was all from me. I wish you a good day and a great match experience, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.